Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Hello, 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 hello. All right, this is an energy reading on the road reading series. I'm not on the road because my ankle is sprained, so I'll make use of this setting and hopefully you'll be able to see my stones as well, my crystals. I'm going to start with the sign of Gemini, of course. And if I'm lucky, I'll have all of my lights and cameras working. It'll work out just fine. So let's start by showing you the stone that I'll be using for, hi there, hi Mimi. The stone that I'll be using, which is a rhodochrosite. It's a rhodochrosite. I'm seeing that it's slow. It's a rhodochrosite. And what is so interesting about this stone is that it is warm, very warm. And what is interesting about the stone, the rhodochrosite stone, and using it with you is that Gemini, it is, yes, you're an air sign. Okay, we got that. It is an air sign. You're an air sign, Gemini. But creeping into the core, into your bones this month, is that energy of that soft, mushy tears. You watch a movie, even if it's not a romantic movie, it's a movie that I'll just have to get rid of that other camera. It's a movie that will bring you to tears because your emotions run high. And now that it is the new moon, the full moon lunar eclipse, which is the 10th, and the days around this, it gets worse. It gets worse in a good way, in the sense that, you're able to let out the floodgates and finally the emotions flow. Why am I saying that's so good? Here you maybe blubbering and things like that. Because you're differently from the past, you're giving vent to an emotional pull, an emotional side to your story, to your daily story. Look, Gemini, there's also a lot more here, of course. There's a lot more. And you are not alone. You are not alone in the emotional pull that this moon is bringing us, of course. But you are not alone at all, ever, in the month of January. There are Gemini out there who feel that you've been abandoned. You have, someone has left you, a new person has entered your life. You don't know how to take them, or your lifelong companion has just given you the cold shoulder, or, changed beds or changed rooms. And what is interesting about this energy that you have around you is that that's of little consequence. Because Gemini, you have the sensation, and some of you, it's up in the, more in the foreground, and for others, it's more in the background. But what you feel deep down, because sometimes, there are two different layers here, and what you tell yourself, what you admit to yourself is one thing, but what you really feel that you don't let anyone see, not even yourself, is that there's the warmth there, and you feel very comfortable in your skin, as the French say, bien dans sa peau, because you have this sensation that you're doing the right things. You're going, your path, you're moving along a proper place. And what I like about it is that it's new. There's a sort of a new spin on how you consider yourself, and how you're not letting others see or know that and it's kind of cute because it's sort of the day or the month before you come out. It's before the coming out. Well, this is a new me. This is Gemini. This is a new me. I cry at movies. I do that, and I don't walk alone, whether you give me the cold shoulder or not. I do have 2 feet and 2 legs, and I stand on them, and I'm quite happy to do that. And you get away from the sensation that you have to put on a mask for others. This sort of dynamic equilibrium in couples, this dynamism that, if one is sad, the other's happy. And to make that other person happy, you have to be sad. You get away from that and you start sort of listening more to yourself. It's a pleasure to see, really. It really is a pleasure. Now I'm going to look at Libra. Libra, I've got a gate here. The stone is agate. It's wild. It's wild. It's egg-shaped, like a cone shape. And some of it is like clouds and gel, it looks like. So there are parts that are transparent. Beautiful, beautiful stone. Like you, which are partly transparent, the energy that surrounds you the month of January. And partly is a bunch of clouds. Now, we know that clouds just blow away. So they're clouds that are there just for us a short period of time. What I also like about this energy for you is that, you weed through those clouds. When the clouds come, you take it on yourself as if it were a challenge. Wait a minute, here I am, right in this blue sky, perfect weather. Then all of a sudden, I don't know what I'm doing. You're clouded. Your judgment is clouded. But instead of, succumbing and falling prey to, oh my God, I can't get it. I don't know what to do. You face the music. You go right into it and you take it as a challenge, as a positive challenge, which is an interesting take on the way you do your normal problem solving. What I also like for you, Libra, is that we know Libra means scales. It means balance, the balance. Well, that's not, there's nothing of that in the month of January for you. It's as if you're, on one end and you're and you see it way, way, way up there, the other side, and then you come down to so there's not much of this even keel. You are almost measuring yourself against the odds in fate, as if, okay, one day, and this is an example, Libra, you're going, you're on the highway, you're going to work, you're in your car, and your car just leaves you flat. It's just boom, 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 boom. You have to move to the side, and you sit there and you start thinking, what the hell am I going to do now? And of course, then, you kick in and your response is coming up and you start saying, okay, let me call AAA or whoever you call, or let me call this and call my job and they'll be back. But, the way you go about facing challenges, they could be as small as not going to the supermarket and not finding your favorite drink, or as large as, as something like a car where you have in a desert road. You don't know where you're going to get help from. But the way you face them is with an uncanny sense of reasoning. And because you're putting yourself, you feel that you're in the hands of fate, and you like that sensation. You know that anything that happens, there's no problem. There's no problem because it's going to be solved. Someone's going to help me. I'm not going to die. I'll be here and I'll just get help from the next car that goes by. I won't freak out. And I really, really enjoy that side of you, because it's as if, the universe is throwing you, all of these curved balls, and some of them you're able to, move out of the way, dodge them. But most of them, you're going head on and think, okay, I got that, solved. Another one, pop, solved. And it helps not only you. What's interesting this month is it doesn't help only you, but it helps the people around you, because they are, whoa, what kind? I'll have what he's having, what they're having. So it's a good month. It's a really interesting, different level of energy and different speed in the way you bounce back. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, now we're going to Aquarius. You Aquarians out there, the Aquarians. I've got this beautiful garnet stone. It's one of my favorite. Well, they're all. These are like my children. I love these stones. But this is quite particular. You see the different levels of red, yellows, oranges, and the way it glitters. It really, really has a lot to say. And for the month of January, Aquarius, I see a form, the beginning. All right, I don't want to be too optimistic, but I'll put it this way. What I'm looking at is the beginning of like a meteorite, a huge gap of the beginning of an opening, very, very big opening of trust that's coming out, of lightness, of trust. This is the beginning where you seemed at the beginning of the year, towards the end of January, December, the energy was like, looking down, should I jump? Should I not jump? What do I, where do I go here from now? From now, where do I go? Instead, I'm seeing that there is an open, wide space that now you see there's room. You feel more comfortable in your context. You feel comfortable in the way you move around. You feel comfortable in the way you act to new people that you meet. You feel comfortable in even in your shortcomings, and they are shortcomings. You have them just like everyone else. I mean, we are human and so are you, and you've got them, and you've got to see them for what they are. And what's interesting is, whereas a lot of times you're not ready to look at them, or you just don't want to see them. You just, they're buried under so much stuff because you're just busy, you're busy. Now you're more, you use more of self-irony, and you sort of not laugh and, I'm so stupid. No, you scoff at it. You're sort of thinking, okay, I get that. 1 for you, 0 for me. You as if you're your own sparring partner. And it's cute. It's nice. It's sort of, it's not comical, but it's such a nice side of human nature that you're showing others about yourself and about your nature. It's nice. And this self-irony is a way for you to not only accept the challenges as they come, because we know we have them, right? But accept those shortcomings even more, because there's some days, Aquarius, especially in this month of January, where you really don't want to look. You just put it down. Hide things away. I've got to do my homework. I've got to do. I've got a book to write, and instead. And you can't write the book unless you figure out exactly what the plot looks like and who those characters are and who, where it's going. And you just keep going and going and going without, looking at the detail. And now you're starting to get a sort of sense of the terrain a little more. Like I said, there's this big meteor, a crater, and you're starting to get a sense of the terrain because you're going and walking like a big machine, those big things that walk on Mars, like we see in the movies. And you've got these big spider-like arms and legs, and you're looking around, as if you were a robot, and you start thinking and getting a feel of, what's this 2020 like, and this gives way, especially towards the last week of the month, Aquarius. it gives way to a sense of openness even to other people that surround you. Openness in the way you consider them, the way you see them, the way you view them in relation to you. You're much more malleable, much sweeter, much mushier, much the halo on your head, underneath those little horns, and you're just so nice. I do hope this was of help to you, Aquarius. I'll put the timestamps as soon as I get organized here. And thank you for joining me. I'll go now and read all of the chat. Namaste. And until we read together again, I'll be doing the earth signs coming up. I'll schedule that. Bye-bye.